Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at PUrge Reviews.
Get Billy the Kid is a social deduction game with a small twist in it. If you ever played Get Adler, this is a very, very similar game with some added twists to it that are a little bit different. With Get Billy the Kid, you're going to have a Western theme where the lawmen and some outlaws are chasing around, and one of those happens to be Billy the Kid. Billy the Kid is trying to hide his identity and get away with the gold with some outlaws, possibly if you have enough people to play with. And the lawmen are trying to capture him before the 7 rounds, and he gets the heck out of Dodge City. Very fun atmosphere. So if you like social deduction games, this is a really neat one because it's not just about finding out who is who, but you have to capture them and play this little mini game at the end once you find out who it is. So once again, we had Battlestar Galactica, that was the social deduction game that kind of started the revolution. And you saw everybody making it smaller and smaller and smaller. And here we're adding some layers back to it. I really like the layers being added back to it. I really like the Resistance, but I feel like so many games started just copying the Resistance and pretty much putting out the same game. Here, you're adding a little bit more into it. What cards you're getting and what you're discarding is going to give information out to people. There's also opportunities for them to look at your cards. But what information you're giving out will hopefully be telling people who you are and what you are. But remember, there are also people in the group bluffing. But those cards you're giving away and the information you're giving away are opportunities to be used in your favor or used against you. So, if Billy the Kid is running away and he jumps on a train, you need that train card you just discarded. So you kind of this guessing game of what you're doing and making sure that if you're giving away train cards that maybe your opponents aren't, because those might be needed in the future. The whole time, there's no communication. You can't really be talking about these things. What you're doing is giving the information, which brings a little bit of Hanabi into it, right? So I do like this. I like to Get Adler, but to be very honest, I like this theme better, and I like the added twist that this game has. I would prefer Get Billy the Kid over Get Adler because I like the theme and I like the added twist of what this game is going to have. This idea of having a social deduction game, but this movie-style theme where you're jumping on trains and horseback and you're running and you're having these shootouts is very, very, very fun, but kept simple enough that you really can play this game with anybody. The little charts that you get in the game are brilliant because they kind of give people an outlay of what cards are available, how many, and kind of what you're doing. And this is a must. You'll be staring at this, the first couple of times you play, and eventually this kind of gets sucked in. But it's definitely a game you can play, 2 to 6 times in a night, and everybody's just laughing and having a good time. I really, really like this game. This goes to the top of the social deduction games for me. Now, social deduction, some people are going to love, some people are going to hate. If you hate social deduction, this may not change your mind, but just understand that it's not like Spyfall. That's all you're doing. You're doing other things here. So the whole hand management and playing cards and giving that information out, it's not just a race to confront somebody. And if you're louder, you're going to be heard. It's the card play. So this is almost like a thinking man's social deduction game. And I think people are going to like it a lot better. So I would even kind of say if you don't like social deduction games, give this one a try because it might fit your needs. For me, I do like this one a lot. I was given this prototype copy. I'm happy to see the finished product come out. I've been happy with Get Adler. This is one I think is going to replace Get Adler for me. I like this version a lot better. For me, this is a keeper. All the components I'm going to show you are going to be prototype format. You're going to get 5 of these reference cards. These are going to be very important for players to look at during the game. It's going to tell you how many cards there are and what the cards do. Especially when you're learning the game, it's going to be very, very important. You'll also get a cheat sheet like this, will tell you each of the characters' names and 4 attributes they have. So when you're trying to figure out who is who, you can be referring to this chart right here and trying to figure out, remember, oh, that player is Doc Holliday, he's Wyatt Earp, or so forth. At the beginning of the game, you'll shuffle up the character cards, and this will be who you are. You'll get one of these face down that only you can look at. So you're going to be Doc Holliday, Martha Garcia, Pat Garrett, Billy the Kid, or famous Wyatt Earp. You'll be given one of these, which you'll keep face down and hidden from everybody else. Once again, these are prototypes, so there's nothing on the back. What you'll do is you shuffle these deck of cards, and you're going to put 2 of these out, face up, at the beginning of the game, and they cannot be the same. So you want to make sure that these are not the same card. The game will be played over 7 rounds, but the first 3 rounds are played a little bit differently. On your turn, you're going to draw a card, and then you will discard a card from your hand, and that will give people information about which cards you're discarding. You will do that for the first 3 rounds, everybody in turn order. So what are you trying to do in this game? If you're Billy the Kid, you're trying to get through 7 rounds and have gold. If you're able to do that, you will win the game. So when people are discarding gold, that will give everybody a hint that they're probably not Billy the Kid, unless Billy the Kid was sharp enough to discard gold on his own turn. If you play a question mark card, then you're able to ask questions. And what you're trying to do is ask questions that may determine who is Billy the Kid. So Billy the Kid is the only one with blue eyes other than Doc Holliday. So you may ask a yes or no question. Do you have blue eyes? If the person says, no, I do not have blue eyes, then you know it can't be Billy the Kid. Everybody, all of these characters, if you're playing them, must tell the truth. If you're Billy the Kid, then you may lie. So you can kind of know who somebody is, and you're trying to break it down who they may be by asking these questions when you play these question cards. If you play the rifle card, then you're allowed to look at the hand of cards of one player. So you can look at somebody's cards, which may give you clues or hints about who they are. If you play the binoculars, you can take one random card from a player and give him one of your cards. It's going to be a good way to start fishing for what you're looking for. This is the arrest card. It cannot be played in the first 3 rounds, but this is when you're ready to accuse who you think Billy the Kid is. You can attempt to play an arrest card, but remember, it cannot be played in the first 3 rounds. If you guess correctly that it is Billy the Kid, then you will have to try to arrest him. If it is not him, it's a false arrest. You and the accuser are going to be out for 1 turn. If it is Billy the Kid, then he can play what's called a response card. So let's say he played these guys out on the horses, so he's trying to run away. Then the player who tried to arrest him can play a card in response. It just has to be the same card. If he does it, it goes back to Billy the Kid, who then can play another response card. But in this case, the train, he gets away on the train. And if that player doesn't have a train, then Billy the Kid got away and was not arrested. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that when you try to arrest somebody, if you are correct, everybody will reveal who they are and all the identities will be shown. Once that happens, the kid can either draw a card from the deck or pay 1 gold card and buy 1 to 2 items from the town. So these face-up cards will become available to Billy the Kid once everybody's identity has been revealed. The lawmen win if the kid or all the outlaws are arrested or eliminated before the end of the 7th round, or if the kid or outlaw is alive in the 7th round but possess no gold. And this is what a goal they'll be trying to get after during the game. The outlaws win if the kid is alive at the end and possesses this gold card, or all of the lawmen are eliminated from the game. So it's a social deduction game with this cat and mouse thing that's going on with Billy the Kid and the outlaws. Who should buy this game? If you like social deduction games and you're looking for a little bit more out of it, this gives you the added wrinkle. If you don't like social deduction games, and you do like hand management games, you do like giving out a little bit of information to the card play, I felt more involved in this one because if I'm quiet or shy, I'm still playing in this game. When the resistance, sometimes if you're shy, you can kind of be shut down or shouted down, or there's an alpha player who's kind of running the show. And this one's all about the card play, so I feel like it's a little bit different for that. So this might even be the social deduction game for people who are a little bit more in the shy. But if you're an alpha player and allowed, you're still taking your turn and you're still playing and you're still kind of going through the motions of what you would normally do, but that shyer person also gets to be in. This has that chase scene. If you like movies and you like movies with that big chase scene, this has it in it, and it's really neat when people start playing those cards. It's kind of like on the edge of your seat wondering how it's all going to end. Very neat and cool concept. And I'm surprised this one isn't hitting up bigger. This should be a bigger concept in the social deduction genre, and I think that as time goes on, people are going to see this, like it, and expect more from the social deduction games. Overall, I found this to be a very big success. Once again, I was a fan of Get Adler. I think this is a step in the right direction, a little bit more in this one. I like this one quite a bit. It's one I'd recommend to you. Even if you don't like social deduction games, this is one that you need to try out because there's a little bit more to it.
Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing.